Welcome to Lesson 2, Continued, Adding and Subtracting Fractions. In this video, we're going to look at word problems involving rational numbers. Example 1 says, Tom and Pam were picking blueberries using the same size buckets. Tom picked 2/3 of a bucket. Pam picked 5/9 of a bucket. Who picked more blueberries and by how much? And when we looked at comparing fractions, we learned that we need to find a common denominator. Let's write down what we have here. Tom picked 2/3 of a bucket, and Pam 5/9. All right, so we see that the common denominator is going to be 9. So I need to multiply 2/3 by 3/3 to give me 6/9. Now that they have a common denominator, you just need to look at the numerators. Since 6 is larger, we see that Tom picked more. Now the second part of the question wants us to determine by how much more blueberries did he pick. So to do this, we need to subtract 6/9, take away 5/9. And whenever we subtract, we add the opposite. It becomes plus -5/9. So 6 plus -5. We subtract 6, take away 5 is 1. And they determine the sign by looking at how many negatives and how many positives we have. I have 6 positives, 5 negatives. So we see our answer is 1/9. Now, as with any word problem, we should always make sure we have a statement answering the question. So I'm going to say that Tom picked 1/9 of a bucket more than Pam. In example 2, says the temperature in St. John's at 8 a.m. was -1.6 degrees Celsius. The temperature dropped by 3.5 degrees Celsius over the next 6 hours. Write a subtraction statement to determine the temperature at 2 p.m. Now, if I start at 8 a.m., 6 hours later will bring us up to 2 p.m. I'm going to write down my initial temperature of -1.6 degrees. Now, since the temperature dropped, I'm going to minus 3.5 degrees. Now I'm going to add the opposite, -1.6 plus -3.5. And when we add two negatives, we add the two numbers together and then just make our answer negative. So I'm going to go off to the side here and add 1.6 and 3.5, making sure I have my decimals lined up. 6 plus 5 is 11. 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. So I end up with -5.1. So now I can say at 2 p.m. the temperature was -5.1 degrees Celsius.